Oh, that's a long time
Yeah?
before me.
Well, what year did you come?
I was 1970. I was with the new department when it was
Became a special.
when it became special. I was the first one in the new department. And that was, I guess, 1978 or 1976, something
I
like.
came to New York a decade earlier.
Yeah.
Janet Langsam, it's really a pleasure for
Thank
me
you.
to have this exchange with you and to come to that point in both of our lives where you are the director of a very significant arts organization and I am the happy recipient of your award tonight. Coming from you, it enhances it and it means a great deal to me. Janet and I, for those of you who don't know, go back a very long while. When I was the first director of cultural affairs, and not so long afterwards, she became the deputy commissioner of cultural affairs. She's had a long and continuing and successful career in bringing the arts to wider numbers of people. But how did you end up in Westchester?
Don't know. I started in Queens. I'm a kid from Queens.
Yes, and you started
I'm
the
a kid
arts,
from Queens.
the Arts Museum.
I
in
started
Queens.
the Queens
But
Museum.
how did you wend your way upstate?
Just somebody from a search firm told the search firm that I was in Boston and maybe I would consider coming back to the New York area. I went for an interview and I remember I never made the interview because it snowed and I was in Boston and I was trying to take a plane. So I stood up the search committee. I never thought I would be selected. Just happened. Accident.
How long?
I love it.
But don't you think serendipity is a part of everyone's
Always.
careers?
Always.
But the idea is to be at the ready when they come and ask you.
Yeah, always.
Have you liked it?
I do. I like it very much. I live up in Armonk. It's woodsy. It's really very beautiful, and I just like being in Westchester. And there's so much to do there. I mean, there is Mount Vernon, Yonkers, Peekskill, so many important cities in the state, and a lot of need. And I think, you know, my being there has helped put some attention on, you know, the populations in need in Westchester. People look at Westchester and they say, you know, Westchester, it's rich.
Well, it started, of course, as one of the first bedroom communities, but you have helped enhance it in every way, focusing on the million-plus population, its diversity, its density, and its creativity. Can you talk about that for a moment?
Oh my goodness, are you interviewing me?
Yes, I am.
Oh my God.
That's a good question, don't you think? I
You
think this
are.
might. I think it's a wonderful introduction
are.
to the evening.
You
So
are.
just answer the question.
You
please.
are too much, Barbara Lee Diamondstein Spielvogel. You are too much. Oh, what was the question?
I think I talked about what was once just a bedroom community you have brought along in these years there to be focusing on its diversity, its density, and its creativity to a major art hub.
Westchester is a microcosm of New York State. It has some wonderful cities that are deteriorated, that are in need of revitalization. It has cities that have, as an example, Mount Vernon, a African American population of some 85%. So there are great needs below the cross Westchester County line of 287, which is northern Westchester, but in the south you have New Rochelle, you have Mount Vernon, you have Yonkers, And those cities really have very diverse populations. There's a tremendous influx of immigrants of all kinds, from Muslim countries, from Latino countries, from Africa, and it's very much like an upstate community on a larger scale. New York City population is growing to 9 million, but these cities have all of the problems and all of the challenges of the places in Queens and in the Bronx and in Brooklyn where I worked when I was working for 3 different mayors, John Lindsay, Ed Koch, and Abe Beame, long time ago. So
what have you
I
enjoyed
guess
most about this job?
I guess like President Obama, I'm a community organizer.
That's what I call myself,
And
actually.
And I never thought of it that way, but years ago, John Lindsay asked me to lead the first decentralization project. It was called the Office of Neighborhood Government. There were 5 of us. I had the Rockaways, and just as an aside, I grew up in the Rockaways, and we had a $350,000 grant from HEW, which was Health, Education, and Welfare, at the time. And Columbia University got $1 million to study us. So we were on the cutting edge of what was the decentralization of New York City government, of the 62 planning districts in New York City, of what became community planning boards and district managers locally. And that experience really, combined with the arts, which I am a painter and an art person, that experience really gave me a foundation for being able to work at the community level and bring the arts to the community.
Is that the perfect introduction to your
We're not going to use
That's
it.
it.
Thank you.
No, I